Good evening, everyone. And first at 5, the end of the search for a missing Oregon City woman, with police now revealing they believe the man who reported her missing is actually her killer. That suspect, now under arrest, appeared in court, charged with murder. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Mulco.
And I'm Laurel Porter. Kara Taylor was last seen on July 25th, and immediately police thought her disappearance was suspicious. Mike Benner joins us now from Oregon City. Mike, what did you find out in court earlier today?
Yeah, Laurel, we learned a lot, and we want to warn you what you're about to hear is quite disturbing, and that explains the felony charges filed against the suspect. Appearing in Clackamas County Court via closed-circuit TV from the jail, Jamin Fritsch pleaded not guilty to murder and abuse of a corpse. These are charges connected to the disappearance and death of Kara Taylor, a case that troubles even the most seasoned investigators.
This is a tragic situation.
Captain David Edwins of the Oregon City Police Department says Taylor was last seen July 25th. 2 days later, Fritsch, who Taylor lived with at a home on Jefferson Street in Oregon City, reported her missing. Right away, detectives thought the disappearance was suspicious.
Miss Taylor has a adult disabled daughter that was living at the location, and for her to leave the daughter there by herself and not be seen or heard was what led us to believe that.
Follow-up investigation revealed that Fritsch made multiple trips to a Home Depot for things like zip ties, tarps, and a saw blade. Blood was found in the home Fritsch shared with Taylor. And it was revealed in court that Fritsch admitted to investigators he killed Taylor. But that's not all.
He admitted that he dismembered her and placed parts of her body in different locations, and said that the police would not be able to find her body because it was dispersed over multiple garbage municipalities.
Prosecutors argued that Fritsch is a danger to society and should remain behind bars without bail. The judge obliged. Just a little comfort for the grieving family of Kara Taylor.
Obviously, our condolences go out to Miss Taylor's family. It's a very tragic situation, and first and foremost, our condolences are for her family.
All right, it's worth noting that detectives are still working to locate Kara Taylor's remains. So if you have any information about this case, you're urged to contact police. In the meantime, Jamin Fritsch, who has claimed to be a veteran of the armed forces, is due back in court 1 week from today. Back to you.
Such a sad and disturbing case. Thank you, Mike. An Oregon woman who went missing during a hike in Phoenix has been found dead, and it appears it was heat-related. 34-year-old Jessica Lindstrom was found dead Friday night after she'd gone on a hike earlier that morning. Authorities said Lindstrom, who formerly lived in the Phoenix suburb of Peoria, was a registered nurse in Oregon and was visiting family. Medical examiners have yet to determine a cause of death, but preliminary information suggests Lindstrom was overcome by the heat while hiking. The National Weather Service said July was the hottest month in Phoenix on record, with an average temperature of 102.7 Fahrenheit.
The growing problem of traffic deaths in Portland, now higher than they have been in 3 decades, with city leaders calling it a public health issue. 44 people have already died this year, 13 of them just in the month of July. For perspective, at this time last year, that number was 39. Commissioner Mingus Mapps, County Chair Jessica Vega Peterson, and Ty Engstrom with the Portland Police's newly restored traffic division were outside City Hall this morning to talk about an action plan. They say 2 things in particular are contributing to these deaths: speed and impaired drivers. When we asked if the police officer shortage is also a contributing issue, here's how Sergeant Engstrom responded.
So we're doing what we can with the resources we have. That afternoon shift coverage is only 2 sergeants, 5 motorcycle officers, and 2 car officers. That's all we could get.
Well, more new officers will eventually join the traffic division after their probation period. It's not clear exactly on when that's going to happen. One thing that could help, though, 40 new traffic cameras set to be installed within the next year.
Now to the dozens of wildfires burning in Oregon right now. At last check, there are at least 33. But let's take a look at 3 we're really keeping an eye on right now. We'll start with the Priceboro fire. That's near the Lynn-Lane County border. It threatened homes about 20 miles north of Eugene when it started Friday night. It's burned more than 300 acres, but is now 45% contained. And just east of Eugene, the Bedrock fire continues to grow. It's only 5% contained. It's burning in the Willamette Summit National Forest for 2 weeks now. It's grown to 13,000 acres, but that number is expected to be higher when crews fly over today with infrared technology. The state's largest fire is in southern Oregon. The Flat Fire is burning between Gold Beach and Grants Pass in Curry County. It's burned more than 33,000 acres and is 39% contained. More favorable weather conditions over the next couple of days should help keep the fire from spreading.
A little good news there. Back in the Portland area, a backyard fire in the Cedar Hills area damaged 2 homes. Crews say they responded to Southwest Linridge Street this morning just after 10:30. Tualatin Valley Fire said 1 home caught fire and the flames then spread to the second. 2 people inside 1 house got out safely and were taken to the hospital with serious injuries. A 3rd person was treated on site. No word yet on the exact cause.
And take a look at the damage from a roof collapse. This is in northwest Portland. Portland Fire and Rescue says no one was hurt in this, but some cars stored in the garage, well, they were damaged. This happened about midnight at 4th and Flanders. An investigation is underway, but it's likely that some type of structural deficiency led to the collapse. The owner of the building's now working with the city to decide whether to demolish it or rebuild.
The saga over the Pac-12 mass exodus continues this evening with the 4 remaining teams, really the Pac-4 now, right? They're trying to figure out where they're going to go. Those include Oregon State and Washington State, which could join the Mountain West. Meanwhile, ESPN is reporting that over the next 24 hours, the ACC, that is the Atlantic Coast Conference, will have exploratory discussions about adding the other 2, Cal and Stanford. All this movement, of course, because the Pac-12 could not get a TV deal that gave the schools enough money. On Friday, Oregon and Washington joined the Big Ten. Arizona State, and Utah joined the Big 12. We caught up with Oregon head coach Dan Lanning after practice on Sunday, who said moving to the Big Ten is the best thing for the Ducks.
When you come here, you're looking for an opportunity to continue to compete against the best, and I think there's no secret that there's really great teams and great competition in that league. I think it's a league that means more than just football. I think obviously academically it brings a certain prestige, and then the fact that it hits every single part of the United States is big for us because we are a team that is a national brand. We should be seen across the nation.
Well, very excited there. The move impacts not just football, but all sports, with athletes now traveling further across the country for games. For instance, Rutgers is in the Big Ten, so the Ducks are going to have to travel almost 3,000 miles one way to play in New Jersey.
This shakeup not only impacts where teams will play, but also how much money they'll get. And for Oregon State, that brings a lot of uncertainty, especially after the renovation of Reser Stadium. The $162 million remodel, including demolition and rebuilding of the west side of the stadium, was expected to generate an additional $5 million a year in revenue. But now those estimates have become a bit murky after the realignment of college football. Oregon State suddenly faces some hefty bills to pay.
This is just a body blow. This is really the worst possible news at the worst possible time.
We spoke with a couple of stadium finance experts about Oregon State's future, and coming up at 6 o'clock, a closer look at how the school will likely have to tackle a smaller budget, which comes on the heels of a multi-million-dollar renovation.
New at 5, we've got some brand new photos out of PDX and the main terminal renovation with its mass timber roof. Take a look at the new check-in and departure hall as they take shape, bathed in an incredible amount of natural light. Now, more than 95% of the 9-acre, 18 million pound roof is sourced from Oregon and Washington. The makeover also includes more trees and plants inside, gathering areas, plus lots of new shops and local food stands. It is all part of the 5-year, $2 billion investment known as PDX Next, with new sections opening in phases in 2024 and 2025.
Looks pretty impressive. Still